So hello guys, welcome to the another video of data structures using Java. In this video, we will be solving a problem called as buy and sell stocks. This is again one of the easiest problem. So let's understand what does exactly the problem says. So they will be given us n days, and for every day there will be a stock price, right? On first day the price of a stock is 7, on second day the price of a stock is 10. In this way there are 7 days, and for every day they have given us the price of a stock on that particular day. So what we need to do is, first of all we need to buy one stock, and also we need to sell that stock which you have bought, and we need to achieve maximum profit. So I hope so you got the meaning of the question. Now let's check out how we can approach this problem to get the maximum profit after selling the stock. There is one important point to note over here is that before you sell the stock you have to buy it first, right? You cannot sell a stock before buying it. So let's assume what we need to do in order to get the maximum profit. So we know that one thing, that in order to get max profit there is only one thing that will help us, that is sell it at maximum price and buy it at minimum price. So this should be minimum and this should be as maximum as possible. Now if I buy this stock on day 1 and I sell the stock on day 1 itself, therefore my total profit would be 0. Therefore it is no any point buying and selling the stock on the same day. So what we need to do is, let's suppose what I have is till now the minimum cost I need to buy it, and let's suppose profit I have obtained. So let's assume that as of now my minimum cost is 7, and now I am standing at 10 and I ask, if I bought the stock at rupees 7 and if I try to sell it at rupees 10, what will be the profit I will get? For sure it would be 3. So as of now the maximum profit we got as 3, and now we need to move ahead. But before we move ahead, what we need to do? We need to also keep in mind the minimum cost at which we can buy the stock. So if you compare 7 and 10, which is the minimum? Of course 7 is my minimum, so there is no any update will takes place in cost minimum. So now I am present at 1. So if I bought at rupees 7 and I am selling at rupees 1, so my total profit would be minus 6, which is less than the previous profit. Therefore I will not consider this. Okay, then I will move to the next day, that I would be 3. But as we discussed, before we move ahead we need to keep a track of minimum element. So minimum element is 1, and so it get updated to as 1. Now what is happening is, I bought the stock at rupees 1 and I tried to sell it at rupees 3. So if I am buying at rupees, let's suppose I am buying at rupees 1 and selling at rupees 3, my total profit would be 2, which is less than the previous profit we got. So there is no any point getting this. Now let's move ahead, but before we move ahead, update the minimum element, but the minimum element remains 1 itself. Now if I am buying at rupees 1, I am selling at rupees 6, my maximum profit would be 5, which is greater than the previous profit. So I will simply update it. Now again I will move ahead, but before I move ahead I will update my minimum cost. It will remain 1 itself. Now I am buying at rupees 1 and I am selling at rupees 9, so maximum profit I would get is 8, which is indeed greater than this. Therefore I will simply update it. Now I will move ahead and my minimum cost will remain as it is. Now if I am buying at rupees 1 and selling at rupees 2, my maximum profit would be 1, which is less than 8. Therefore the maximum profit we can obtain from these days is simply the 8. So I hope so you understood what exactly we are doing. What exactly we are doing is, if we are standing on the ith index, right, ith day, then we need to buy the stocks. I will write in bracket, you need to buy the stocks from 0th day till I minus 1th day, and that should be as minimum as possible. So how we can write this? So simply what we can do is, as of now what is my cost? As of now my cost is nothing but ARR of I, that is 0, that is element present at my 0th index, right? So this would be a minimum cost. Now I have declared the profit as well, and since I haven't sold any stock, so I will keep the profit as 0. Now I will go on traversing from first index till last. So I will simply go from 1 till I will go to the last index, and I will check what is the profit I can achieve. So let's suppose max profit I will keep it as, so if I am selling at rupees A of I, but before this I have bought at rupees cost, then what I need to do is, I need to update the profit if and only if I get the maximum profit. So I will update the profit if I am getting it maximum, that is max profit. And finally before moving ahead, what we used to do is, we used to update our minimum value. So we will simply update it as cost is equal to minimum of cost and A of I. So this is a simple code, and finally we can simply return the profit because it will contain the maximum profit after buying and selling the stock. Now what will be the total time complexity of this problem? We are simply running a loop from first index till the last index, so therefore the total time complexity of this is nothing but big O of n, and space complexity would be big O of 1. So this is my space complexity and this is my time complexity. Now let's go to the IDE and try to run this problem. Now if you try to observe over here, I have written the exact code what we discussed. First of all, I got the length of my array, and then I declared the variable profit to store the maximum profit we get, and I declared the variable buy, which I am considering the minimum value at which I will buy the stock, and I am running the loop from first index till the last index, and I am getting what is the maximum profit I will get if I try to sell a stock on ith day after buying on this value, and finally I will store only the maximum profit. And also I need to keep in mind that I am buying the stock at minimum price. That is the reason why as I am moving ahead, I am also keeping a minimum value to buy the stocks. And finally I am simply returning the profit which I got after buying and selling the stock. So I hope so that you understood this video. Just in case if you are new to our channel, do subscribe the channel for more such informative videos.